Shalom, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahushai. Let's give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors the apostles, elders, and bishops, a great millstone that taught us his word. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect across the planet Earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and in truth. So yesterday was the first Friday of the month, also the first of the month, and every first of the Fridays is of each month they release the labor statistics of job growth and job losses, and so this one was probably at an all-time low, which resulted, I think it was like 70,000, 73,000 jobs that were added in the previous month, and that was pretty much an all-time low. So Trump resulted in the firing of the head of the labor's union, or the labor Department of Labor, which is all, more proof that the Most High is bringing down the workforce in this place. Soon there will be no more jobs, according to biblical prophecy. But this article is out of the BBC, titled "Trump Fires Lead Official on Economic Data as Tariffs Cause Market Drop." The U.S. President Donald Trump has fired the boss of one of America's most important economic institutions hours after weaker than expected jobs data. On social media, Trump claimed that Erica McAntifer, commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, has rigged job figures. The unprecedented move by the White House sparked accusation that Trump was politicizing economic data. U.S. stock markets were rattled on Friday after Trump forged ahead with his plans to raise import tariffs on goods from countries around the world. Figures were then released by BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, showing that employers in the U.S. just added 73,000 jobs in July, far below forecast of 100,000. But yeah, so, Most High is bringing down the workforce in this place very rapidly. And this is out of an article from intellizense.com, basically listing all the labor, the layoffs, the layoff tracker of 2025. Since January 1st, 2025, 2,069 plus companies announced layoffs, mass layoffs, since the beginning of the year. So you had UVM Health eliminated 146 roles, Duke 600 jobs, NASA nearly 20% of the workforce, Intel cut 24,000 jobs, and all this is worldwide. So these are worldwide layoffs, really due to these tariffs that they're not really talking about. On Q1 2025, the U.S. workforce experienced significant disruptions driven by federal layoffs, corporate restructuring, and cost-cutting measures. Leading companies that announced layoffs in 2025, UPS, Dell, Nissan, all these major companies, BP, British Petroleum, 7,700, Audi, a lot of cars, UPS, 20,000, Intel, Bosch, Liberty Global, 800, Jaguar, Sarepta Therapeutics, Alaska Air, and this is funny, Indeed and Glassdoor laid off 1,300. That's funny because those are job recruitment sites, and they're laying off. Portland, General Electric, Microsoft, Clark's, Allianz, Intel, Jetstar Alaska, Procter & Gamble, 7,000. Petronas, United Nations Secretariat, 6,900. So the list just goes on. Walmart, Nissan, This is back in May, going back to May 2025. Telefonica, CrowdStrike, UPS, 20,000. That's the big one. Hennessy, General Motors, automobiles, all these American car companies laying off, eventually going to go out of business. All this has to do with those tariffs, man. Siemens, Chewy, DHL, Goldman Sachs. Back to this Porsche, back to February 2025. So they've been Workday, another one, tech company. January, Amazon, Meta since the beginning of the year, January 2025. So yeah, man, no more work out here. A lot of that has to do with tariffs as well. The AI that's taking over. This is another article out of Windows Central. AI threatens to eliminate 40 job roles, according to Microsoft's latest research. Is your career safe? So these are the top 40 jobs using AI applications. Interpreters, translators, historians, passenger attendants, writers, authors, telephone operators, ticket agents, broadcast announcers, and radio DJs. Public relations specialists, data scientists, archivists. Yeah, so a lot of these white collar jobs are going to be, taken away, man. Switchboard operators, geographers. So yeah, man, there's not going to be any more work out here. So what are they going to have to do? All these people are going to have no money. So they're going to have to bring in that basic universal income, man. Basic universal, basic high universal income. But what are you going to need? You're going to need that chip in order to get it. So, all these prophecies are lining up, man. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now the Creator, in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Yeah, man, so now's the time to get right with the Most High, man. When you're young, seek the Lord while he may be found. Because once some prophets are off the streets, man, it's going to be too late. Nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun, or the light, or the moon, and the stars be not darkened, the clouds return after the rain. When the keepers of the house will tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves. The grinders cease, because they are few. And those that look out the windows be darkened. And the day when the keepers of the house will tremble. The elites, people that specialize in the economy, economists, they're seeing it. They can see this place going down financially. And the grinders cease because they are few. Yeah, we just read, list of companies that are announcing layoffs, and it's going to get worse and worse, Those that look out the windows be darkened, man, there ain't going to be no hope, People aren't going to find no hope in this place. And the door shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of the grinding is low. Yeah, marketplace is done, man. You can be able to go to the store, All these businesses are going to go out of business. The sound of the grinding is low. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and daughters of music shall be brought low. Yeah, no more alarm clocks out here, man. The daughters of the music shall be brought low. Yeah, and you're seeing that now, man. This music is trash nowadays, man. Yeah, the point, the grinders cease because there are few, these jobs. So how are these people going to eat? There's going to be a famine out here. How are these people going to eat? There's not going to be no hope. So they're going to go out there, riot, rob. This is 2 Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. The sword and the destruction draweth nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, with swords in their hands. Yeah, people would be angry because we've already seen it. These race riots. You have that brawl up there in Cincinnati. Esau going on starting shit with Jake. You know, and him getting stomped out. This woman got stomped out. You expect to see more of these brawls, these little race riots, man. These little fights. When people standing up to fight, but it's gonna turn deadly. It says with swords in their hands, man. But there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or their princes, in the course of their actions, stand in their power. They're not gonna pay attention to, mayors and the governors and city leaders. They're gonna do what they want to do because they will be desperate out here. Man shall desire to go into a city, they shall not be able. They can be cut off, man. The city's gonna be cut off, man. National Guard gonna be deployed. We saw a taste of that here in LA. The National Guard's gonna be deployed to calm the people down or whatever. They're gonna block off the cities. You're not gonna be able to go from one city to another. Curfews. For because of the pride, the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Yeah, the scripture says the mighty men are going to cry, cry there bitterly. Strong men shall bow themselves, man. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Yeah, it's going to be a famine, yeah. The lack of bread, great tribulation, no money, no jobs coming in. You have to take that chip. People getting hauled off to concentration camps. It's going to be all out hell out here, man. But yeah, they're going to, have to institute that chip in order to get that universal basic income, man. But you're not to take that chip no matter what. This is Revelation 13:16. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to buy anything or sell anything, man. The monetary system's gonna be totally revamped. You're gonna have no job, no money system. You have to go solely to the government to get, the money, food, or whatever, man. You're gonna have to have this chip in order to take part in that. But you're not to take that chip, man. That's why they call it the hour of temptation. That's the time for the elect, to prove themselves, man. It's like this is the consequence of taking it. Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture, to the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb. Yeah, man. So you're gonna get caught up in that nuclear destruction. If you take that chip, man. And that's gonna be the outcome. It's the last prophecy. That nuclear destruction. One of them. The last, major prophecy here in America that deals with America. That World War III and the destruction of America. 10th part of the city shall fall, man, from the whole part of America. The whole land shall be devoured and destroyed and turned into a desert. But yeah, so yeah, Most High is bringing down the workforce in this place, man. All these layoffs since the beginning of the year, So yeah, grinding shall cease because they are few, man. That, Shalom.